Come on in. Hello, me, everybody. It's Michele Marie Dalene, North American Snow Queen, and of course, today we're going to talk about everyday things. The weather is definitely on the list today, as there has been several scientists who are very familiar with climatology have pointed out that with our sun calming down, as the amount of solar infrared coming from our sun has reduced for the most part, and is causing the beginning of a reverse climate change to what the IPCC keeps talking about. It turns out that we are seeing the beginning of global cooling. Screw global warming, because it's not warming up at all. Final Cut Express is no express, especially when you're getting into more advanced things like animated backgrounds and overlays and titling and special effects. It runs a lot slower. Speaking of running slower, it turns out that the animated studios are having a hard time keeping up with the new desire for 4K video, even for cinematic productions, with the existing amount of servers they have, because the graphics and the animations take so much work to do for the computer to render a full scene in the type of 4K resolution, which is actually 2.5 times higher, I believe, than even standard 1080p. Now, when I saw Frozen at the cinema, I saw a lot of wonderful work, but so many animations in Frozen took days to do, especially the making of Elsa's crystal chandelier. Clearly, to make that same film in 4K would have taken a lot longer to do that. So clearly, the animation studios are really not quite ready to do 4K films in a timely manner, but that doesn't mean that they won't get it done. Just like me, just trying to get standard definition video up using a PowerMax G5 running at 2 GHz is taking me a while to go. I also mentioned a personality profile which I did not get a chance to share with you, and I'm going to share some of that. And this was a personality profile that me and Lumi took last year, of all the interviews and things that we were trying to gather information together to see how we compared and contrasted it in our video presentation. I'm not going to go through every single section of this response because there's quite a few paragraphs. I'm going to read paragraphs 1 and 2 for each personality type. First of all, let's start with my personality type. According to this definitions chart, INFJ personality. The INFJ personality type is believed to be very rare, less than 1% of the population, and has an unusual set of traits. Even though their presence can be described as very quiet, INFJ personalities usually have many strong opinions, especially when it comes to issues that they consider really important in life. If an INFJ is fighting for something, this is because they believe in the idea itself, not because of some selfish reason. INFJ personalities are drawn towards helping those in need. They may rush to the place of a major disaster, participate in rescue efforts, do charity work, etc. INFJs see this as their duty and their purpose in life. People with this personality type firmly believe that nothing else would help the world as much as getting rid of all the tyrants karma, and similar concepts are very attractive to INFJs. Okay, and that's my personality type. Now, clearly we know the old expression opposites attract, and this certainly implies when you compare Lumi's personality. Do you want to read it? Yeah, I'll read it. Okay. ESFJ personality. If someone tried to define an ESFJ personality trait in 3 words, it would probably be practical, altruistic, and sociable. Forming around 12% of the population, ESFJs want to be of service to others and take their commitments very seriously. They do not really worry about what the role they're in, as long as they get a chance to socialize with other people and feel valued and appreciated. Okay, next paragraph. I know, I'm getting to it. ESFJs are great team players, always able to sense tensions and incompatibilities. They are very traditional, doing their best to support and defend authority and law. People with this personality type also tend to be very devoted, whether they are playing the role of a party, host, or social worker. It is quite easy to recognize ESFJs as social events. They'll find enough time to chat with everybody. And the types for... You want to go through your list of examples? Yes. Let's see. Some of these... Okay. The INFJ personality types include former U.S. President Jimmy Carter, Goethe, Mel Gibson, Mother Teresa, Martin Luther King, Nelson Mandela, Nicole Kidman, and James Wilson from House MD. Right. And, of course, my types. Your personality types are people that share your personality as a lot more of us. A lot more of you. Right. You want to read it? Sure. Sure, famous ESFJs. William McKinley, former U.S. President. Bill Clinton, former U.S. President. Harry S. Truman, former U.S. President. Sally Struthers. Mary Tyler Moore. Sarah Palin, U.S. Vice Presidential candidate and former governor of Alaska. Dixie Carter. Sally Field. Danny Glover. Nancy Kerrigan. Dean Winchester from Supernatural. And Monica from Friends. And it's kind of interesting that we actually do kind of, we are kind of opposites, but we kind of work together. Yeah. You notice I took the AdSense off again. I wasn't making a dime off the videos. Patreon and GoFundMe is not making money either. Even though I know I have people that do like my work, I never asked for major donations from anybody. I don't even like to sit there and keep plugging the donation business. But I know you hate AdSense and you hate commercials just as much as I do. So let's work together on that, shall we? Let's continue to add new video content. Let's continue to improve our performance. Let's aim for the day when we'll have a studio where we'll be able to have a round table. Now, how about a square table? A square table discussion. Yeah, we could do that. You did that with Dory. I mean, yeah, but we only have one camera. Yeah, I know, and it's in the other room, and there's only like a narrow alleyway for the camera to come in and look at the view. But maybe the day will come when we'll be able to get a video switcher and we'll be able to have multiple camera angles. Then we need a control person at the control center to switch between the cameras. I can't be at 2 places at once. No, you can't. And that's the truth. And I mean, I also want to remind you that no matter how it comes out, no matter how the weather's going to go, I'm going to be there standing behind you. I'm talking about people who try to do the right thing, who try to pull their own weight, Make an effort to get ahead by their own means. Creativity, I encourage it. Spontaneity, I encourage that too. But the most important thing I encourage is that you got to believe in yourself. You have to believe in who you are. And you have to believe in what you can do. There's no one out there in the world that is more important than being able to provide for your own means. The world is a very complicated place. And there's a lot of things in the world that are always going to be changing. But you got to be ready to provide for your own means, because one day the entitlement programs are going to go poof. The U.S. economy is so much in debt that if China ever called in that debt, this country would be totally ill-prepared to even pay a portion of that debt. And it doesn't help when congressmen, senators out in the United States Congress and the United Senate act as if it doesn't matter. If they keep asking for more money for the U.S. deficit, it does matter. And it matters a lot. I can tell you, I bet their home families, they watch their budget like a hawk. And they probably have a very tight line with a lot of spending. And yet this country constantly decides to keep asking for more money for programs they cannot afford. In the case of President Obama and his attitude, I'm not impressed by what you're doing. I don't know why you feel that the U.S. Congress and U.S. Senate should not be allowed to speak up. But however, I'll be honest, maybe the U.S. Congress and U.S. Senate, until the end of the lame duck session in January, when the Republicans finally are fully seated at the table, we might get something done. Mr. Boehner, I'm not going to even encourage you to suggest a government shutdown at all. We saw what happened last time, and it hurt your party. I'm a Republican too, but I'm a moderate Republican. I try to look at things from both sides of the coin, and I do my best to make sure that I understand both sides of the equation before I put my foot in my mouth. And I put my foot in my mouth internationally, globally, and actually galactically. Thanks to the internet, the way internet goes out into space, somebody in Alpha Centauri 200 years from now is going to watch my videos, and they're going to probably say, gee, what a nut job. Did she think that they were going to listen to her? Well, it would be nice if they would listen sometime. But you know, just like Vincent van Gogh, just like was saying about him by Don McLean, they did not listen. They did not know how. Perhaps they'll listen now. The truth is that was after he died. But when he was alive, Vincent van Gogh was very badly misunderstood and had a hard time trying to get people to understand his artwork. And yet, he still painted. He still painted the way he saw the world around him. Today, back then, he probably couldn't even sell one of his paintings. Today, a Van Gogh is worth a lot of money, a lot of money. It's sad that you have to die before your artwork gets appreciated. Well, I'm not going to die in the near future unless, and I'm going to bring this up right now because it is a possibility. Ladies and gentlemen, my family, we have a cancer problem. Cancer runs in my family, and a lot of my family members have suffered from all kinds of cancer. From skin cancer, lung cancer, prostate cancer, ovarian cancer, uterine cancer, breast cancer. And in a couple days, more than likely, I will be having a mammogram. And I hope to God that I'm not one out of 8 women that happens to be the unlucky one. But you know what? That's the way the chip falls. You can't help that. Except to just gnash your teeth and keep going, no matter what. And if for some reason something bad does happen, and I have to go through chemo and radiation, and I lose all my hair, and I'm sick as a dog, I am still going to push ahead and forge ahead and try to keep doing the videos that I do, because I'm dedicated to the open forum. I'm dedicated to speaking up for what's right. Incidentally, speaking up for what's right, I tried to fight very hard to get cleared up with the song from the Hurricane Sandy video, which is being misled or miswritten, associated with another artist from a song I never heard of, created by UMG. Likewise, Shuffling Blues that we were using at the end of our video captions was also being misidentified by the content ID. I filed an appeal, pointing out that I don't feel it's right that the wrong artist gets attribution for a song that they did not create. I am fighting for the honest artist, the real artist, to get the credit they deserve. So whoever wrote Shuffling Blues, I want to thank you very much that you made it available as a demo song on Apple iMovie 9. And I want you to know that I appreciate your effort and your creativity. Just as I also created the work of Creedence Clearwater Revival for the song called Bad Moon Rising. I appreciate everything that you guys are singing or performing. I don't like to steal music from anybody. I truly believe it is essential to give credit where credit is due, even if it's not good credit. I'll give credit to where credit is due. I contacted YouTube and I filed an appeal, and I'm going to keep fighting for you. And I'm asking you, the content creators who rightfully wrote the songs that are at the end of my videos, to please speak up and stand up and realize that I want you to get justified credit. And if you would please tell me where to send a royalty payment and how much, I will personally arrange to put a check in the mail for you. I believe in giving credit to the right artist, and I believe it is the right thing to do. After all, we have to understand content ID only uses a few pieces of a song to determine content, and unfortunately it sometimes results in a lot of false positives. Well, unfortunately, group UMG is still trying to tell me that they refuse to give proper acknowledgement for Bad Moon Rising by Creedence Clearwater Revival. In fact, YouTube even threatened me and said if you escalate this appeal, and it is found that it is incorrect, that it is still, UMG still believes that it is their song, they have the legal right to file a strike against you and force the removal of the Hurricane Sandy video. That Hurricane Sandy video was an essential video. At the time, it made sense. It was about with all the things that was going on with this major hurricane affecting the East Coast. Of course, now Hurricane Sandy's over, and so maybe it might make sense to take the video off the YouTube. I'd rather not, because it's a historical document, and I'd really rather leave it there. But I will not stand behind someone who did not create something that I'm using, trying to take credit away from the really legitimate person. And as I said, for whoever wrote Shuffling Blues and Bad Moon Rising, if you'll contact me, let's discuss this. I want you to get your proper respect in what is due to you. That song made a big impression on that Hurricane Sandy video. It really filled in the severity of Hurricane Sandy. And that that video was created before the Hurricane Sandy hit land. And when it was created, I said it was bad. And the Bad Moon Rising was perfect, because it did take lives. And we did have nasty weather. So why are we allowing some artists I do not know to take credit for your work? Content providers, if you really feel that this content ID is not rightly, fairly monitored and regulated, speak up. Stand your ground. It's okay. I'm on your side. I believe in the copyright system. And I do not believe in stealing any pieces of work. I will respectfully give any content copyright holders any information I have on the works. I will do whatever I can to work with you. Because we need to make sure that the right people get the respect they deserved. That's exactly what Vincent van Gogh would have wanted, even for his paintings. He was writing about the average everyday person in his time. He was speaking out in art about what he saw around him. That takes a lot of guts to do. Sadly enough, we did not appreciate his work until after he had passed away. But it doesn't have to be like that. So let's keep this in mind. Something that a lot of free speakers, including Nelson Mandela, would have said. We have to fight for what is right, and we have to work to make sure that people are treated with just respect and kindness, and the truth must stand. I might be a North American snow queen. I have a job to do, but that does not mean I am an asshole. I work hard to provide as much information as I can. I'll be honest, I'm not the most powerful sorceress in the world. Honest, my ability is pretty limited. It's not even that good. And incidentally, my sorcery is nothing like you see on TV. Okay, it works with science to get things done. It uses the scientific principles and scientific process to observe, quantify, clarify, and justify the results. And based on the information I have, I can make a decision if I should intervene or leave it alone. We knew what was going on with the cold fronts from Canada. But we have warned you, and I have continued to warn you, as have many other scientists, that this is coming. Yes, there's another bad moon rising. It's called climate change, minus climate change, cold climate change. Forget wearing shorts in July or in January here in Connecticut. That ain't gonna happen. You might need to wear long underwear in June in a few years. So you need to be prepared for that reality. And please do not forget to like or dislike the video. And if you got any personal complaints, comments, kudos, whatever, please use them in the comment section below, and I will gladly talk to you. If I don't respond to you, that doesn't mean I don't like you. It just means that maybe I'm thinking about what you said and try to come up with an answer. As far as the person who said they look like a piece of shit, yeah, well, when you're 46 years old and you can't get the proper medical care you need, you can't help what you look like. We just got to keep doing the best we can. That's all we can do. That takes a lot of dedication and guts to get out there on camera, even when I look like crap, to tell you what I need to tell you. And if you are one of the content providers that I need to talk to, i.e. the writer of the song Bad Moon Rising and the creator of Shufflin' Blues, if you would please contact me via personal email, and we can discuss what we can do to give you proper credit. And you can email me at bsichela3@gmail.com. Please say in the subject line the name of the song, and of course, in the letter, please specify what you feel you want for exchange. Because I feel that you should be receiving proper recognition at the very least for your work. And also, you need to contact the Content ID people and have them go through and check their sources for any other song that may have been misidentified as somebody else's work. You contact me, and I will give you a copy of the information from YouTube regarding what they have told me and who they say it is, so that you can get in contact with them and put it right. For guys, I'll talk to you soon. Okay? I'll see you. Hopefully you'll keep warm. But I want to thank you for watching the videos. And remember that in next year, here in Connecticut, in Winsted, I am planning to run for selectman. And I plan to work with the Republican Town Committee in March to get my name on the ballot in the town of Winsted. And as a selectman, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't necessarily support the rich, and I do not necessarily support the poor. I believe in a moderate position. I try to look at the things from both sides. So as a selectman of Winsted, I will continue to work to help create new jobs and new opportunities for all people to enjoy the privilege of finding a job that they enjoy, maybe even possibly being able to expand the career path. That's just me. For now, I'll talk to you soon. Goodbye, everybody.